we've done carbines, we've done SMGs, we've done DMRs and sniper rifles in one video together, and we've even done the assault rifles. And in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we will be ranking all shotguns and pistols from worst to best in Battlefield 6. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Giggity, real name is Mark, and in today's video, that is exactly what we're going to be doing, but I want to make it abundantly clear that we're going to be ranking them separately. So we're going to be doing the pistols first. We'll rank all 5 of the pistols. Then after that, we're going to rank the 3 shotguns separately, because obviously they're 2 different classes. The reason why I'm not doing these in their own separate videos is just because there's not enough guns in the class to make their own separate videos on. It would be a very, very short video and kind of just a waste, I feel like. And so we're going to do them together, but separately, if that makes any sense. It's not like the DMRs and snipers video where we're ranking them all together. Also, they are adding a shotgun and a pistol in November, like in maybe like 10 days now, I want to say at this point. But I'm not waiting that long, gosh darn it, so we're doing it now. Maybe I'll do an updated list when they add the other shotgun and pistol to the game in November, but as of right now, that's all we're doing. Also, for my credentials, for those that are going to be like, well, what about your credentials? Like, why should we trust your word on it? You shouldn't. I'm just a YouTuber at the end of the day, and this is all just personal opinion anyways. If you enjoy what I think is the worst pistol in the game, or what I think is the worst shotgun in the game, power to you, man. Go have fun with the gun. That's all there is to it, you know what I mean? You shouldn't take my word for it. Just play the game and use whatever gun that you like using. But I do have every weapon in this game level 20 at least. I do not have them all like mastered or anything, but I think level 20 you have more than enough time played with the gun to be able to accurately rank them and say whether or not you think they're good. Movie of the day though is The Green Mile, an absolute banger. It's kind of an older movie, but it doesn't matter. It's so good. It's kind of sad though, so if you're not ready to cry, don't watch this movie, but it is so freaking good. Without further ado, let's go right into it. We're going to rank the pistols first. So number 5, in my opinion, the worst pistol in Battlefield 6. And that's going to be going to the P18. But real quick, the whole point of the reason why we're doing this series and ranking all the pistols and the shotguns and the carbines, LMGs, blah, 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 all separately is because at the end of this, which next is going to be the LMGs, and then that's it. At the end of it, I want to rank every single weapon in Battlefield 6 from worst to best. That's right. That's right. So I hope you guys are excited for that. But either way, yeah, the P18 is your starting pistol in this game. And I think the second you unlock, I believe it's the ES 5.7 is the second one you unlock. I think you should immediately just switch to that. It has average damage for a pistol. It's nothing crazy. Its fire rate is average, but there are just better guns in every single regard, I feel like, than the P18. It's also just boring. Like, it's just a boring looking pistol as well. The magazine size though is pretty good, I'll give it that. Like the M4581, M44, and I believe even the GGH all have less ammo in the mag than this gun, so that's good, don't get me wrong. But and the recoil is fine, the bloom is fine, whatever. It's really just a very average pistol with just its main problem, I would say, is honestly its fire rate. Like, yeah, there are pistols in this class that have worse fire rates, like the M45A1 and the M44, don't get me wrong, but it just feels not good enough when you compare them to the other two. And coming in at the number 4 spot is the new pistol so far. They're adding another new pistol in like 10 days now. But the GGH 22, it's a Glock. It's a Glock 22. I'm assuming, because it has 22 in the name, so it's probably that. It was super cool to see that they were adding a Glock into the game, I'm not gonna lie, but when they first added it and I unlocked it, I was super excited to go use it, started using it, and realized, okay, this thing's pretty mid. It is just mid. It just feels so freaking weak. To be honest, the pistols in Battlefield 6 do feel really weak. It's not anything like Call of Duty, for the Call of Duty fans out there, where you could pretty much use a secondary in Call of Duty as a primary and get away with it with no real issues. Yeah, it's gonna be a little harder, but nothing really major. Whereas in Battlefield, it's the complete opposite. These are secondaries. Like, they are absolutely your last resort kind of gun. Like, you're not supposed to use these as primaries, not in the slightest bit, and it shows. The GGH 22 is very, very weak, unfortunately. I do think it's really cool. I think the design of the gun is really cool. It's a very, like, for me personally, because I'm an American, gosh darn it, it's a very realistic gun. You know, you see these a lot in real life, but besides that, it's not that cool. Also, they should have added like a full auto mag, like a Glock with the switch. I get it, you know, it's ghetto, it's not realistic at all for a military shooter, but come on, man, that would have been awesome. Coming in at 3rd place, however, this one is a guilty pleasure one, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably doesn't deserve to be 3rd place. It's pretty bad, but I love it. I just love how they look. They're such cool guns. The M45A1. It's the 1911, obviously. Every first-person shooter game in the world needs to have some form of a 1911 at some point in their game, and Battlefield 6 started with one. Now, this gun's has a higher damage number than the P18 and the GGH 22, but obviously because of that, it has a couple of downsides. One is the magazine size, only 8 rounds in the mag, whereas the other ones had 17 rounds in the mag respectively. That's obviously a lot lower. Its fire rate is obviously also a lot lower, and its recoil is also a little bit higher than the other ones. But obviously its payoff there being the damage. Instead of being a 4 or 5 shot kill with like the GGH and the P18, this gun is more like a 3 to 4 shot kill, which is a little bit better, but obviously the recoil pattern means you might miss some. The fire rate means it's going to fire those shots a little bit lower, and since you only have 8 rounds in the mag, it means you'll have to reload it a lot more frequently. It probably doesn't deserve to be third place is what I'm trying to say, but I love how they look, and I do not care. Second place, however, this game is so interesting. Battlefield 6 is like the only game where I feel like the number one thing that matters is fire rate. It's literally just fire rate in Battlefield 6 that matters, because I think second place, the second best pistol in the game, is easily the ES 5.7 or the 5.7 obviously, and the reason why it's this high is strictly because it has an insane fire rate, 21 rounds in the mag, and almost no recoil. Yeah, but obviously people are like, well, what's the downside then? Like, that seems incredible. The downside is it has the weakest damage of all pistols in the class. But that does, I honestly, man, like, guns like the AK-205 have the lowest amount of damage in the carbines class, and I think that's the best carbine in the game. Like, sometimes the low damage guns in Battlefield 6 work because they just have insane fire rates. It's even crazier when they combine a high damage gun with a high fire rate as well, something like the SCW-10. I don't understand how that gun hasn't been patched yet, but this is really, really good, at least for me, as somebody who does miss some shots here and there, as somebody who's an average controller player. I would say I think the ES 5.7 is a very, very solid option for me. If you're like a pro player that like never misses shots and just is an absolute demon, then yeah, maybe it's not the best just because the damage number is so low, but this is a very forgiving pistol that you can afford to miss a couple shots with and not have to worry too much because of the fire rate and because of the recoil and because of the mag size, and I love it a lot. I think it's a really good gun. But I believe a surprise to absolutely nobody in the world, easily coming in at first place, easily the best pistol in the game right now. But hey, the new pistol that's getting added is going to be some sort of revolver, so maybe this will be dethroned. But first place as of right now is the M44. It's a revolver. Again, every first-person shooter game has to have some sort of revolver in their game. It's just like a rite of passage if you're making a first-person shooter game. You need a revolver, and this is this game's revolver. The M44 is a heavy-hitting, obviously slow-firing, obviously low amount of ammo in the mag, obviously high recoil handgun. By the way, they also don't have a Desert Eagle in this game yet. I just thought of that. Add one, Battlefield. What are you doing? You're missing out on an obvious banger right there. But either way, yeah, this is a it's kind of like a Desert Eagle, honestly, in the sense where it feels like you're handling a Desert Eagle. But what's the payoff here? Obviously, it's damage. Obviously. It's a 2-shot most of the time pistol. And you can, even if they're like a little bit injured and you hit them in the head and they have like 80 health and you hit them in the head, it's a 1-shot. It is disgusting. It's the only pistol in this entire game that I truly believe if you wanted to use this as like your primary and run around the map trying to just use the M44, you absolutely could. You could put a sniper scope on this thing and make it freaking insanely fun and stupid and really pointless to use, but really fun to use. It is just really a good solid pistol. The only pistol in this game that I truly believe that you could get away with using it as a primary. It's disgusting. I don't think anybody's gonna really disagree that the M44 is the best in the game right now. But now we are on to the shotguns, and I want to make this abundantly clear. The shotguns are easily the class that I have the least amount of time played with, and the class that I always care the least amount about in first-person shooter games. I'm just not a shotgun player, really. I don't see the appeal behind them. I don't think they're satisfying in any real way. And since I am a controller player, you don't get those crazy clips that you see on online with the shotguns in Battlefield, because those guys are usually all PC and they're just flicking onto people, and it's absolutely incredible. I've just never been a big shotgun guy. I never really cared too much about shotguns. Yes, I have these all level 20, but the entire grind up to level 20 for these guns, I wasn't really paying too much attention, just kind of using them. So this one could easily be switched around, and I really wouldn't argue with you guys too much on it. Either way, coming in at third place, I think the worst shotgun in the game right now is easily the 18.5 KSK. Again, I want to make it abundantly clear, they are adding a shotgun in, I think, 10 days. It's going to be something like the R90 from MW19. If you know, you know. It's like a double barrel shotgun thing. And that gun might be better than these. I don't know. Again, we'll revisit this list when those come out. But as of right now, I think this is easily the worst shotgun in the game. It's obviously the fastest firing, and so you're like, okay, that's a good thing. Call of Duty does things like that too, and usually those guns are broken, like the 205 Brecci, the Haymaker 12, the Kamchatkas, or whatever they're called. Usually they're pretty nasty. The 725, well, the 725 is not that at all. Actually, I don't know why I said that. But in this game, I think they have a slight problem, and I think the problem is, yes, it has that fast fire rate and everything like that, but it only has 8 rounds in the mag. It has the worst range of all the shotguns in the game by far, and on top of all of that, it has the least amount of damage. It makes sense why they did that. It's a balancing thing, obviously. If it had the same amount of damage as the M1014 or the M87A1, why wouldn't you just use this? You know what I mean? Because you could just afford to miss more shots. But I do think it's the weakest, because what are you using shotguns for? To catch players off guard, to just run up in their face and shoot them once and kill them. And the 18.5 KSK is the least likely to do that. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it maybe, again, this is just my controller player talking here, average controller player talking here, who can't hit his shots sometimes. But I honestly don't think this is the best shotgun in the game. I think second place is the M87A1. I think it's the second best. It's obviously disgusting. We've all seen the clips. We've all heard all the news about the players absolutely dominating with the M87A1 in Battlefield 6. And while that absolutely can happen if you're a really good player that can hit his shots consistently, I think for the vast majority of players, the average players, they would much rather be significantly better off with a semi-auto shotgun that can make it so that you can afford to miss some shots here and there. Obviously, stats-wise, this is the strongest shotgun in the game if you hit your shots, and it's easily first place if you do. I want to make that abundantly crystal freaking clear that if you can hit your shots, if you're a good player, yes, the M87A1 is easily the best shotgun in the game, one of the best guns in the game right now. But as somebody who doesn't, since it's a pump-action shotgun and since it's the only pump-action shotgun in the game, I think it's slightly worse than the M1014. It is still absolutely disgusting, don't get me wrong, this gun is still insane, and you should still absolutely try using it if you haven't already. If you want to have some fun in this game, absolutely. But I don't think it's the best shotgun in the game anymore, because obviously I think that means first place is the M1014. It's the best of both worlds. It's the middle ground shotgun in this game. It's semi-auto, so you can afford to miss shots but by having a follow-up shot, unlike the M87A1, but it has enough damage to one shot at a higher range than the 18.5 KSK. And so it's right there in the middle ground. Obviously, it doesn't have as good of a one-shot kill potential as the M87A1, and it also doesn't have as good as a fire rate and what's the word I'm looking for there? The forgiving instances like the 18.5 KSK does. But it has a perfect balance of the two. Most of the time, you'll get a one-shot with the M1014. Most of the time, you'll be fine, but those times that you don't, it is a semi-auto weapon that you can follow up another shot with. Does it fire as fast as the 18.5? Absolutely not. But does it have as much damage as the M87A1? Absolutely not. It's just again, I know I sound like a broken record here, but it really is, in my personal opinion, the best of both worlds. I think the average player is going to be best off with the M1014. If you're a really good player, I think this is the worst shotgun in the game. I'm not even joking. I really think it is, because it's the most it's the most forgiving shotgun. It's the most just average, well-rounded shotgun. You know how games have guns like that, where it's like that, for example, Modern Warfare 3, the OG Modern Warfare 3, the M4A1 was a very solid start to the assault rifles class, but once you got better and once you learned how to control recoil and learn how to play the game, there were just so many better options. I feel like that's the same thing with this, and as somebody who's just never been great with shotguns in video games, and especially not in Battlefield games, I really think the M1014 is my favorite right now. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video, ranking all shotguns and pistols from worst to best in Battlefield 6. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great moment jumbo. I will be leaving a comment down below with my new YouTube channel where I'll be uploading any sort of yapping videos. There's going to be no theme to that channel, no upload schedule to that channel, no editing to that channel. It's just a random channel I'm going to create where I'm just going to use it to get whatever's on my mind off my mind and put it on that channel. One day it might be Rocket League funny moments with my friends. The next day it might be me trying to dismantle the economy in Chad. I don't know. It's just going to be like the most random freaking channel of all time. So if you guys are interested in me yapping more, the reason why I made it is because I get comments on this channel and my main channel all the time of people being like, dude, can you just get to the point? Stop talking about things that don't matter. And I got ADHD, for those who don't know, and so I can't get to the point. My mind races all the time. I always have 15 thoughts popping into my head all the time, and I just got to get them out, or else it drives me nuts. And so I always just start yapping and everything like that. And so I figured if I had another channel where I could do all the yapping and just start talking about things that don't make any sense, maybe it'll help these channels out. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, it'll be there. By all means, I'm not expecting you guys to subscribe. It's not going to be it's not something I would subscribe to personally, so I totally understand if you don't, but it will be there if you are interested. But either way, that is the end of today's video. Like I said, we will be ranking all the 8 LMGs next. I finally have all those level 20 now, have enough time played with them all to accurately rank them, I believe. So we will be doing that next, and then after that, we will be ranking every single gun in Battlefield 6 from worst to best. I'm super excited. And then hopefully after that, we'll do the map rankings again. But at that point, Black Ops 7 should be out, so we might start doing some Black Ops 7 videos and stuff like that. I do want to revisit Battlefield 6 every now and then, though, to just update you guys on what I'm thinking about the newer guns, because obviously they're going to keep updating this game with new guns, new maps, and stuff like that. So eventually we'll keep coming back to Battlefield 6 and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the plan for right now. LMGs are next, then all the weapons, ranking them all together, and then maybe pistols again, and then that should be it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.